A strong manufacturing sector is a feature of prosperous and resilient economies around the world. It's time to take South Australia's world-class manufacturing capabilities to a new level so that we can make the most of the emerging opportunities in the resources, defence, infrastructure and clean technology sector and the other knowledge-based sectors crucial to our state's growth. A transformed manufacturing sector will create businesses and skilled jobs, generate new industries and boost exports, increase security for our workforce and their families, and launch a new era of economic prosperity for South Australia. But to make this happen, we need to work together.
Manufacturing is going through a difficult time at the moment. It's transitioning and there's all sorts of reasons for that, high dollar not the least of them. But we want manufacturing to stay in this state. The state government wants manufacturing to stay in the state, and it's good for the state, it's good for employees, it's good for the citizens of the state if manufacturing stays here. And that means rejuvenating manufacturing, and that's why we've got a plan. We've got a strategy, it's called Manufacturing Works. It talks a lot about how we can drive manufacturing up the value chain away from competing on cost and getting them into high value manufacturing with a lot of design and innovation in them. That's why we need to connect universities with companies. We need them to working really closely together so that the companies are mining the mother lode of innovation and productivity that comes out of all that research and innovation that's going on at universities. We've got an innovation voucher program. You can apply for that through the department. It connects companies with researchers and it gives you a government grant to help do that. There's lots of ways government can use its purchasing power to drive innovation, and we're trying to do that as well. But at its heart, we're trying to connect companies and universities to make best use of all the research that's going on there, which in the future can be very, very profitable and very, very valuable to the state.
So why is manufacturing's role so critical? Well, there are some key reasons which some of you have heard at previous occasions, but I will want to reinforce some of them. Firstly, manufacturing is the biggest spender on applied research and innovation, with lots of spillover effects into the rest of the economy. Research undertaken overseas, US primarily and other countries, has shown that domestic manufacturing is a critical element in the creation of new technologies. In the US, manufacturing, and I include in manufacturing defense manufacturing, funds more than 70% of the nation's research and accounts for 90% of all patents. In other words, if they lose that, they haven't got a chance. On the flip side, economies with a low share of manufacturing will have relatively poor R&D performance and suffer from a lack of positive spillover effects. And the decline in manufacturing in regions sets off a chain reaction.
Germany, Switzerland, the Nordic countries have all emerged from the global financial crisis in a much stronger position than countries without manufacturing sectors. And these are economies that operate in a high-cost environment.
And let me be clear, it is much more difficult and costly to re-establish a manufacturing industry that has died than it is to drive change in the industry you have. Inaction is not an option.
The South Australian manufacturing strategy has got it right. It recognises that innovation and high-value manufacturing are vital elements in making our industries more competitive. And I'm pleased that this strategy promotes innovation, not just in technology and products, but also in business models. Companies can make great products, but they also need to understand and be responsive to their markets, focused on their customers, and have flexible and innovative production processes. And they need to build networks and productive collaborations beyond their home states and territories. And it's also important that Australian companies get a good grasp of the needs and tastes of our Asian neighbours and a deeper understanding of their different social and business cultures. Governments can't go out there and create new products and services. That's the job of industry. The job of government is to provide a sound economic platform, to make sure adequate infrastructure is in place, and to provide advice and assistance for those who need it. We can also ensure that our world-class science and research sectors are working more closely with industry to develop new opportunities. Later this year, I will be releasing an industry and innovation statement on behalf of the Australian Government to set out new policies and directions to ensure our industries can take advantage of the opportunities of the future. I want to congratulate the South Australian Government for making its own important contribution to what is a national priority that requires a national effort.
My name is Donald McGark. I'm the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Codan Limited. I think what it's done for us is it's reinforced some of the things that we've been doing for the last 15 or 20 years that have made us successful. I think we've understood that what we're doing are very, very consistent with some of the strategies that Joran Roos, for example, has brought to South Australia. So we feel pretty pleased that we've had some reinforcement of some of the things that we've done. And of course, I think we've learned some things as well. So we now understand, I think, much more the importance of innovation in your total business model, as opposed to innovation purely through product development and design.
Hi, my name's Justin Carl. I'm the General Manager for Sage Automation. Innovative thinking is something key to our business. By being a technology-based business, innovation is key. So to be able to provide new systems, new processes, new innovation to our customers is what we're all about.
They need to look at innovative ways to move higher up the value chain and be more relevant to the problems that the customers are trying to solve.
My name is Anthony Paik. I'm Managing Director of Berenberg. Research and development is absolutely critical to the future. We try very hard, we work very hard on it, we have a dedicated team. As industry and the food industry chiming in, it's just there's so much development occurring, there's so much demand from supermarket buyers and export markets for innovation. And even in a relatively mature market like jam, it's amazing. So it's very important, and I think that it's easier to say, but it's hard to do. There's an incredible power of companies working together, and we really have to realise we're not really necessarily competing against each other, but working together to further the interests of the state and the industries we work in.
We will benefit from some of the other structural changes that the government's proposing with manufacturing in South Australia. The collaboration, the engagement, the ability for us to show people what we've done and in turn understand what they've done, I think will bring both sides of the conversation to a higher level of competence.
My name's Neil Lacane and I'm General Manager International Development for KTIG. Partnerships and alliances are fundamental to our business success. KTIG is a perfect example of a very strong collaboration between research organisations and industry. Our technology actually has its origins in physics and materials research that was carried out by the CSIRO, and later product trials with industry led to a lot of the refinements which are now actually embedded in our production technologies. We place a lot of value on partnerships and we'll continue to develop these both within Australia and abroad.
Traditionally, manufacturing at Sage, we haven't had a large export component to our business. Of recent times, we've expanded our great relationship with Boart Longyear, who's a supplier of mobile drill rigs around the world, to be the preferred supplier to supply certain components of their drill rigs that are exported all around the world out of little old Adelaide.
We need to specialise and get into niches that we can really make a difference in and be competitive in, and that's the key to the future for us. For the future, for South Australian manufacturing and for Berenberg, a transformed manufacturing industry is one where there's flexibility and the ability to mass produce in small quantities essentially. Also the ability to react very quickly to market demands and to understand better the consumer through the type of systems, the customer systems that we have, the relationship management systems we have. Very important to give customers what they want. It's easy just to make what you make rather than what customers want. Yeah, design, a focus on design, because that's an area where I think we can excel.
People need to understand that their solutions need to be globally applicable. So as mentioned previously, that I think people are more inwardly focused on the Australian market. They need to understand that they need to be globally applicable, and that the investment that brings from the growth they will see will help fund product research and development, which is a critical element of them surviving and prospering in a global economy.
So in terms of where we need to be, we need to further expand the percentage of South Australian GDP which is actually derived from manufacturing. We need to focus heavily on export-focused, advanced manufacturing, and we need to really promote industry clustering to create critical mass, and we need to be prepared to constantly reinvent ourselves. In other words, transform proactively rather than reactively. When implemented, it's likely that the manufacturing strategy will change our approach. The proposal is designed to increase interaction between innovative companies and research organisations are particularly relevant to us, and we're really looking forward to participating in these programs.
Let me start by taking my hat off to all of you who run companies or are employees of companies who come to work every day and make that company succeed. You are the reason the rest of us can have good infrastructure, good health care, and have a life that has good quality. Without you, that wouldn't be possible.